na kwabrane etimine ne yere SSR over 78 million. Na ne yere no kromfo yere the open a handbag.
That's right.
Handbag Italian made. No what 216 nego de be okwa no sesa na sa multi million so for ne saying.
A wig.
A wig. So sesa ne se sika no ba for. Ni kunu kromfo o wi ade ba.
To me ko edi birthday or chartered flight.
Obedi. Unsa kwase.
To make us way NPP birthday.
Yes. Kwase anya sika. O se obi amobra. Sa na tie. Nti no Alaska I think say maraso say you be hold people accountable.
Odi birthday kitchen. Alice, I'm right. Loving the radio on 92.3 FM. Okay, Ivan Mayansha, so Auditor General reveals 2.2 billion stolen in national service scandal, not 548 million as reported earlier. Yanko.
I'm not sure, sir. You be young because I'm na President Akufo-Addo bebu ye no, and run me catch ya titi say. Omano motin chain no na many my thoughts say na. Those of us who were heavily criticizing the government, and maybe we were doing it in bad faith.
That's right.
And I say, baby, but ebi ade na ye huno na omunhu. Because Alaska leadership ni nyina kire ni panel di animu no kwan fa so be conduct o ho no. And ne be kire how your appointees and so be conduct o ho. Nti we panyini na say we prove say you are so irresponsible. Sa na o mabeye. The last time I catch you say uko efie bi mu a. Ma me no na aduane wi a na papa be no ane de. Owi ana ne ba panyina be no ane de na chiri ba abe no ane de ohu sa fie na otimu say fie ho no obi adi ne ho so obi e na aboa mu enti we ba na abe no amo we ba na wabebo apese we ba na wabeche ye fansan kosua obi a ye ne de enti e ho no obi nse mra mo obi because obi a full elephant sa mamu no na Akufo-Addo bu no enti there was orderless there was an orderless structure of government and an all running until BIA the ope because for the obi Buffur Stock to be able to steal this huge sums of money and these people were so foolish to the extent say nyansa ye de bokro no kra na they didn't have because I know one sakwa brand didn't say kwa kobo man sikam na sika na wa transfer the go on account man na so kwa ko be company na de na yere anase bia ne ba Ghana card and a be company no now you transfer sika from and sika no beguma now you transfer directly from the account to go and purchase a property nya just say wuti bisa kromfo a onim nyansa ne be sa ne ma wo ya dwene mo nya say mu na ho mu omre na wa bisa won senti nipa na dwe mu omre sa na hwan e na hu ni so mfa so kofa no so ma ye CEO. That should be your concern. And again, what we say, system bena ye creatia enunti kwabrani timi bob krono say obi anhu no. Ya be say that question say dey na si obi betimi atena national service making sure say obe exert that control to mop up some of these things we nipa be. So clearly I think say Akufo-Addo mebu oman say na mesika na oba so oba be ne ho ye and people around him also saw the opportunity say almost be yom huye and they have corruption scandals na aba ni nyina na ba kokoro no aketwa wo mo
serious
office na ye de nipa no kono say yesi ye bobo fundaka ho kora na yesua kwan fa so de bokoro no officer obadwin say sika ni ho ko Buffur Stock die ma owire mfimi no betena ha ba kan ye kwan na enkora o mo ko school ho kire o mo in terms of sika aduana ye di e wo school and we are not be sabi the more become only.
That's right.
But these were the food and no more supply. The challenge then was that sikano na Buffur Stock supply no sikano not knowing said na sikano ya they talk your friend saying bags and any makeup box and then na se fornum na nipa na omo a sikano say come ho no. There was a time now they were feeding children with 1 CD 80 pesos a day.
That's right.
80 pesos. I'm saying John Mahama buy and what pay them call 2 CDs a day. We were feeding nipa to Sasabi and Kramai e Ukroma say. Abra na sika o ha kwabrane e de ye ne ho ye. Enti Attorney General na no mete say amamfo se o. Wa betena radio so na obu amamfo for. Those people are very narrow-minded individuals who see this whole thing in a different from a different angle. Your first Alaska. Your case will be Attorney General. enye na adwuma no say prosecute amanfo nko.
Okay.
That is one of the major jobs out here. At the same time, he's also an agent of a government that is running the state.
Okay.
So in the governance aspect of this whole thing, no, the Attorney General has a role. And that role no is also shaping policies. I bet me aboy me ayen hyehyeye. Enu bi na President Mahama de ti new court no a policy decision.
Okay.
And the Attorney General na adwuma nkwan ne say onko court nko defend amamfo. He also has a duty as an agent of this whole government na ekoso no to explain to the people of this country the ekoso because they own as a duty. Or governance and deal and the nipa bi no akoso omonyama yan. Enti obi aboy ekro no a Attorney General the responsibility to inform us to know the state of affairs, the state of play. And yes, where we are young cow, where we are just a copy of court answer, then governance and some fashion saying.
Okay.
So he's supposed to tell the people of this country at that point, you know, and some of can be he is not pronouncing anybody guilty.
Okay.
Because platform now, original or Casa and your court, Attorney General or your judge. But he owes it a duty to the people of this country to tell us. Again, he's also a politician. And this whole thing, politics, what is politics? Your national interest and I say national resources, you know. Quite fast why yes, say I'm
equally.
Now don't you think that our Attorney General has a duty to also inform us as a rep of the people?
That's right.
So if Obibe Jinana can say Attorney General press conference now, so court to answer or pronounce a man for guilty, catch almost munim do mokeka. Such minds are very narrow. I will skew the whole conversation because yet Kroma at to forcing yes, I talk the ambulance and then as a for
That's right.
Nasam no court on Kwani Edino. Press conference does one who know Kroma saying.
Including MPP.
Exactly. So you see, this whole thing is a public thing, so you cannot hide it. But emphasis and they said that Attorney General need to speed the processes up because Ghana for are watching, and it's good that he's giving us all these updates. And he's telling us that most of the cases are ready because that is what Ghanaians are interested in. Because in the last 8 years, the ordeals are Ghana for come. I must have been nipa binu mabefa. Amamu ho abenya sika. Sabi ni anye sabi politics na abamfo. Na sabi bibia kodi baabia na wo hwe nipa bi no mu gina ho a na wo ye kansika wo wia e de a kire na hwe ne bobra wo di gina ho na ye kansika wo wia na anye se mra na ye adwuma boni na abedi
sika so mfata
what has Alaska so living now. So I think say Akufo-Addo no akotena se na hwe amamu obebu ya na se owo na no na meka se so oko every single constituency no ko bu nkotodwe pagana fo achewo fa amamu bone because we o mpanyini na wo kotena fie na ye bo nipa a wodi tumi show mo nsa power se bia nkwasa akro no we no mo boy a wo ye panyina wo ye badwema a de na be ba tim
and ambulance krasa ne ba ambulance service Attorney General say
and Alaska nsam na e koso no de wo hu just a tip of the iceberg. The bigger ones, yes, you can say the Sanchania Muhui, where they am cram crass, Sama Yesu Dan and Sue and Sano, send no young share when as comedies. The Ecosu just comedies. Because the actual corruption cases in Eba. No more Casa Kufa be your mind, we know if I can't keke. Come on, say National Cathedral is another thing.
That's right.
PDS Ewo, and Mijawa bet me up Obama, the action. Yen Ruba,
yeah, confusion a parody of Mohose.
And America say, you see, Ghana politics and the seriousness be him. And this is the time as you making sure that Obia on your serious biano, you're flashing out. And typical example is the office of the special prosecutor.
Okay.
That particular thing has become a useless creation, a burden on the taxpayer. Because Kissi Agyabeng, I don't even care. Nipa doesn't know to but you name the office has no use and you're so useless to the extent that first of all I remember very well. Good, me can say a useless creation because in the first place that thing is not independent. Obi catch us a special prosecutor independent officer obwa ebi onim de oka because the two mean for Attorney General and the independence wa hefa. And again Alaska asamna offer is old emudi wa he Akufo-Addo amfa adwen papa na set up the office of the special prosecutor. The whole intent was that Martinamidu at the time was better. So young harvesting the anger and the bitterness towards the NDC and use him as an instrument to go after the NDC to terrorize them. But Martinamidu proved tougher than they expected. No, in as much as his differences with the NDC or no beer, Ubetimia Ayusuno, but he has his own conviction intact. Then they turn against him. That is when he resigned. And then they brought in this guy. The word I use there, or their puppet, tailed to the apron strings of power at the time.
Exactly.
The all year in a game no play.
Oh sure.
And the akwese what for kura na na kwashe bread factory. Akura ba kope. Na why see bread factory? Akese na de no obeye. Bread no ntimi ni nyina but obebo bia mu to kura se no. That is exactly what Kissi Agyabeng is doing.
So or say cases no.
Yes. We say say akwabi bread. Yes say also don sa kan o mini o say na ma tap so. I say o de nsa ni nyina na bread na wunni bi. Wa tap ni nyina so. Aha, nsa na ye way for as sabi wanya leprosy kwata. Nti obi beto bread na ohun say o de nsa to ba kon so. E na o say on toss bread na sabi kwata ni din nsa aka no. Na kwata ni share na bufo na o de ma tap ni nyina so. Ene onko ebi na Kissi Agyabeng ye no wa tap it, and these are sensitive, critical, high profile criminal cases.
That's right.
Cecilia Dapa abro onu twa dollar woni dem.
Abro ya dey.
Otwa dollar woni dem. High profile case. Issue na kwesi sen. I got at some point in time back actually say the case has been discontinued. Sa case, you know, and a friend I might say Yoko for say they want to go into that particular issue.
That's right.
And the Sa Kissi Agyabeng your press conference no kono ba no Cecilia Dapa kono mu you say gidi ekwesi say.
But how can Obia Ayagabi na kunu na mastermind de ne bae?
Alaska.
Obeja so or investigate on one nebusiafo.
Kenoforiata bae or the gigi as if say China da Kenoforiata eba. Sisi amono ka say case ever presented to the American State Department and the DOJ because your friends are extradition. You need to go through a certain legal process.
That's right.
Amongst those documents, and these are fact are verifiable. Boni and Nipanadi. You bisa sa boni na wedding in America ya boni, and Ghana so ya boni. Ni DOJ and your friends State Department in Sakano. Then they will forward it to a district court in America to examine.
Okay.
So you need to have done a very robust evidence. And I say investigation. Ebetimi standing the test of prosecution at the law court. I who say a political witch hunter. And no criteria we are. And sana Siako State Department and was saying Tenassi Adwin who BM say. Asemi munya so say political witch hunting there. Na oya convince say political witch hunting and sana
you're releasing
no crowd no we no so be catch us say I am sick and also the human rights also comes in. So it's a very complex thing. You expect say nka be ya duri nka processing nka ya go through ya wie but documented kwa ko gina ko di adanse akra ma court go kroma dia indict no kra no menya so say nya bi.
Attorney General said, "Yeah, trauma no so far doctor to grab on far."
But that be a behunu na ojina microphone ni ya press conference ase osuani.
Akwanuma.
Yes. Na ya ka ntimi bisa mo say office no since 2022 besi ne na obetena no. Ya financing with over 523 million Ghana cedis. Enye sika ketwa o.
Yampamu no.
Sa sika krona bi na your friends said around 14 national service we are the can you buy and sana you better say we no over 500 and something million and you know more can abrante bi na kasama no na think so ja kasa be bo na se friend say me da kon se hwan you see yente court room o and ye ni your friends saying I don't know one friend saying some your friends saying law firm. This is a political space. Human public interest are connected.
Right.
So it's not just about strictly the law. You are in a public space, so when you're speaking, you need to speak up as a reasonable person addressing the public. I say Attorney General NDC for na day. When I can say Attorney General NDC for Attorney General, the Attorney General is the Attorney General of the people of Ghana, and Ghana need be our home Kenya so the pressure to so. And to say people are giving the Attorney General pressure. Won't mean to never be say NDC for the money pressure. I'm say Bibihano. Alaska, Ghana for want to resource. NT besides office na mo betena ya na yamamu over 500 million no bulletproof car. Any other way na matoto na modernam chrome ha.
No, attorney special prosecutor and Okowo.
Na Alaska, na President Muhammad a bulletproof car. The president, your friend is in the CJ. Onoko din some Kissi and life should be in danger. Onoko the bulletproof car. Now what be say say Yamo sasika we nyina sika dodo sen and also wetimi age aya momo figure na nkyerɛ wo wan hwa wo de bufo be kon officer ko papa na ni so ayi na firi ho So I think that the office of the special prosecutor for me is not about the individuals there. It is a useless creation and must be scrapped immediately. Now, Sasikana Eko Hono, Yam found resource to the AG. Now you're making sure that the AG office at every region will be as effective as it is in Accra.
Okay.
All the lawyers be a benyabia oko sunyana benyabi ho. Oko techima benyabi ho say they can start picking up some of these cases. Ebasa yebehu say ye fighting corruption because fighting corruption in it's not about the many institutions you set up.
Right.
It is about the willingness and the commitment on the part. Unfortunately for us, the current president, President Mahama, has demonstrated clearly, say, or no, he is willing to ensure, say, cases of corruption will be prosecuted. And until for the first time, the Auditor General report to bar, the Public Accounts Committee, but for the first time, he says that he wants a court that will speed up the process and make sure, say, you better this asem no. It's another day. The focus will not only be on the politician in power. Now, obi onu suti ko lebu. Obi a teacher ni a oye circuit supervisor, headmaster bi oti baby a. Ode nensabo public sikam no. Onu so will face that same prosecution. Ebasa will be able to put the society in that particular order because indiscipline nama krono adoso, lack of punishment and nama krono adoso. Now it's yet me institute this mechanism where we punish crime. We make people suffer for the evil they do against the state. Yeah. Trust me, everybody will sit up.
Right. That was Ivan Che Innocence. Time check. As at 21 minutes to the top of the hour, 5 p.m. Unya, Yanko, yeah, better special courts for this as Ivan stated. No. Right.
Alaska. Oh. Once a promise, papa, His Excellency John Romani Mama, proud to the 2024 elections. What they say, Niama, all this is an easy factor.